Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Tuesday morning? This is Reganelite here. Good morning, everyone. How you guys all doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Tuesday morning. Morning with Reganelite here on Tuesday, the 31st of March, the last day of March, guys. We're on the verge of April already. It's insane. Time flies really, really fast, guys. It's just hit 11 o'clock here in the morning here in the UK for reference here. For those who are new to this live stream and want to know what we normally do here, so normally go about an hour long up till 12 o'clock and we look at today's daily quote, which we'll get to in a moment. We'll have a look at the weather forecast as well for the next few days, and then we'll have a look at the news. Today we're going to be looking at UK news specifically. The On The Good Morning Show, going to be looking from the Telegraph, the Times, the Financial Times, the iPaper, the Independent, the BBC, Sky News, and the Guardian is what we're going to be looking at over the next hour or so. There we'll be having a look and diving into those stories. Thank you to everyone and anyone who was able to come to last night's Viewpoint live stream. Apologies for the internet issues on that show. It's because of those issues I decided not to timestamp the live stream because of those internet issues, which is why you're wondering why it's not been timestamped. It's a bit difficult for people to watch back on, unfortunately, there for reference. So, and I was recording while streaming in the background, so I'm not going to do that anymore because what I wanted to originally do was clip content from the streams, but I'm not going to be able to do that with my setup, I'm afraid. So apologies for that. Just a couple of other things before we get going for those who are watching, and I will remind people later on, please check that you're subscribed to the channel if you're already a regular here. Please check if you're subscribed, or if you're new, consider subscribing. The subscriber count has dropped off, and I don't know why. It could be a case of sometimes the YouTube sometimes unsubscribed you from channels. So if you do check that you're still subscribed to this channel, if you would for me, please, because the numbers have definitely fallen off. The channel has stagnated significantly over the last week or two. So if you can, please check that you're subscribed, and if you can subscribe, please do. It would be greatly appreciated indeed. I am planning to try and record, I say the word try, I'm going to try and record some regular videos for the channel, because that's one thing I haven't done for a long time on this platform, because I do need to do some more stuff for you guys. For those who are here right now, we've got Billy Kershaw. Good morning to you there. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Kevin in Lakeland, Florida there. Good morning to you. Hope you are doing well in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. Good morning to our friend Witchy Goth, another fabulous YouTuber. Guys, make sure you check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel. I don't know if she's going live at all today, but she'll let us know if she is or not. Unquiet Badger, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Billy Kershaw, good morning to you. Harry Flashman there, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Oh, good, you're already subbed. Yeah, because for some reason the numbers seem to be dropping off there, so I'm not quite sure what the reason is for that. Jim, good morning to you. Good to see you there. I hope you are doing well. Thank you, Harry, for the subscription. Much appreciated. Yeah, the numbers were, for some reason, we were at 2,600, and then we went down to like 2,579. So I don't know what happened there. So we do want to keep progressing as this channel if we can here. So thank you if you have subscribed, or if you just double check for me, it'd be appreciated. Like I said, I'll remind people later on as well. Right, let's go to today's daily quote. Here is today's daily quote here, guys. Here it is here from, I can't even say the name because it's the wrong way around on the screen there, but here is today's daily quote here from Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is today's daily quote for the final quote of March here. And it goes, pass the test of being grateful for the small things and big things will be released in your life. Pass the test of being grateful for the small things and the big things will be released in your life. That is today's quote, the last quote of March there. And tomorrow's daily quote is not an April Fool's one, guys. It's a very serious one for tomorrow. And I'm not planning to do any April Fool's stuff or anything like that. There'll be plenty of people who's going to be doing that stuff tomorrow for sure, guys. There'll be plenty of people doing that for sure. David was running late. Yes, I know he was. Viper Scott, no worries, my friend. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Peter, good to see you there, lurking in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well. Wee Bud, I see you there as well. And Indie Duck Mel, good to see you all. Hope you are doing well. No live stream today. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. I have important stuff to do, so switching off. No worries, no worries. We'll check out the Bing podcast, guys. The Bing podcast should be going live later on today, I'm sure. So do check out them. I don't know if Graham Hughes is planning to go live over in Ginger Island or if he's still going to be there. So keep an eye out for him. You might even get a random Marcus All short stream as well. Max Robespierre will likely be live tonight as well at 8:30. So there's going to be a couple of other live streamers who are going to be live today as well. But I will not be going live later on today for reference here, guys. Thank you, Peter, for the £2 super chat. Here's a small thing. Thank you so much for towards the super chat goal. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I always keep the super chat goal to a minimum. Just for those coming in, I just want to remind you, please check if you're subscribed to the channel, because I've had the subscriber count drop. And it might be the case of that some of you have already subscribed, but maybe it might have switched itself off. So if you are regular or if you're new, do consider subscribing. Just double check that you are subscribed, because some people not there for reference there. And Scott Hayes, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well as well. Good to see you there. Right, let's have a look at the weather and see what's happening here. Like I say, I'll remind people a bit later on as well there. Right, here is today's weather. It's set at today at 7 o'clock. I don't know why it does it at 7. The time zones are a bit different now. They've set a 1 hour difference there, which is a bit of an odd one there. But hey ho, it is what it is there. Bing podcast. Yep, the Viper Scott's put a link for the Bing podcast crew. Mikey Famine and the crew there. They do some great stuff there. We've had Mikey Famine on the round table before. Absolutely top guy there. Definitely check out the work that they do if you can. Be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Jim, for the 250 super chat there. A wee bit for the host. Thank you, Jim. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much for that. For some reason I can't click. I'm really sorry. For some stupid reason I'm clicking the heart and it's not registering for some silly reason. Do I really? I have to come out because on my device it's not clicking for some reason there. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. Thank you for your support. Yeah, just 3 more super chats for today's goal. Let's have a look, guys. So yeah, Yellowknife is okay to go to, guys. -9, Churchill -17, and Anchorage -8 there in North America here. Southern Canada, Vancouver 9, Winnipeg -3, Ottawa 3 there. New York sitting at 24 degrees with Chicago at 21. Got Denver at 11 and Miami a nice warm 27 degrees with San Francisco sitting at 15. Mexico City sitting at 18 degrees with San Jose at 26 degrees. Spring in Yellowknife. Yes, spring in Yellowknife. Yes, that's spring to them. That is spring to them, Peter. Yes. Well said there. Well said there. Sarah, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Good to see you there in the chat. Guys, if I sound like a little bit out of breath, it might be because of my walk I did this morning. So hopefully I won't sound too out of breath this morning. Rio de Janeiro there sitting at 25, La Paz at 14, Manus at 28, Caracas there sitting at 23 degrees. Some nice warm temperatures there in South America there. Crossing over to Africa in Central and Southern Africa there. Temperatures as high as 29 with some as low as 19 degrees in some parts there. Got Lagos there at 29 respectfully there. Auckland and Wellington, 17 and 11 respectfully there. Darwin sitting at 26. Hobart at 16 there. Melbourne at 20. Alice Springs 16, Perth 14. Brisbane sitting at 20 degrees. Singapore sitting at 27 degrees with the Philippines capital sitting at 25. And Bangkok at 29. And Taiwan capital sitting at 23 degrees. Shanghai 12. Tokyo 16. Beijing at 12. Got Dhaka sitting at 25 degrees with New Delhi sitting at 22. Crossing over a bit to the Middle East there, we've got Tehran sitting at 9 degrees there. Kuwait City 22, Riyadh 25, Baghdad 17, Cairo sitting at 22. You can see Port Sudan sitting at a warm 26 with Khartoum at 35. They're very warm for them indeed there. Let's have a look at our friends up in Iceland. What temperatures they got? They were at 1 degrees there. It's a bit cold on the in Iceland, as you would expect. In Europe, we got Madrid at 16 and Portugal, capital Lisbon, sitting at 21 degrees. A bit warmer for them there. Tripoli there sitting at 15, Tunis 11, Algeciras, I hope I said that right, 11 there. Rome is experiencing a bit of rain and a bit of snow in Italy at the moment, with Parmelos there sitting at 10 degrees. Southern France there, Nice sitting at 15 degrees, with Paris and Brussels at 9 and 10 degrees respectively there. Bern is sitting at a chilly 4 degrees, with still plenty of snow dropping around, even though we're coming into April. We've got Zagreb, Vienna, 9 and 8 respectively there. Prague and Berlin there, 7 and 5 respectively. Poland's capital sitting at 8 degrees there, with Athens sitting at 16. Tarija there sitting on 13. Istanbul's Turkish capital sitting at 12 degrees there. Bucharest at 10. Chistu at 10. And Ukraine is actually, you can say, I think it's fair to say Ukraine has officially passed the winter storm, as they're sitting on 11 degrees there now, which is very, very good indeed. Even Moscow has pretty warm temperatures, sitting at 12 degrees for them, which makes a change. Volgograd sitting at 12 there. Riyadh still sitting at 4. St. Petersburg at 7, and Oslo sitting at 7 degrees there. Now, I think I said this yesterday for those who weren't here yesterday, but temperatures are going to be very warm. Are going to get warmer today. So this morning it was about 7, 8, 9 degrees when I went for my walk. So it was a bit chilly. I did have a jumper and a jacket on, but yeah, you can see the temperatures are going to be picking up quite a fair bit here. And if I can actually scroll a bit further later on here, you can see most of the day, as we said yesterday, it's going to be nice and dry. So nice, decent temperatures here, guys, all around. So enjoy the day. Will be cloudy in some parts. There might be a few scattered showers, but most of the time it should be dry throughout most of the island of the UK there. Going into overnight, though, temperatures will drop to about 7, 8 in some parts there. 7, 8, 9. So it's not going to be that far. It's not going to be that bad, though. However, like I said, like we reported yesterday, here we can see massive rainstorm coming in. Sorry, Scotland, but you are going to get soaked tomorrow morning and afternoon there. Northern parts of Scotland, mainly there. There is some potential snow in some parts there that may be falling as well. There you can see the rest of the UK is pretty dry. Temperature still staying pretty strong at 12 and 13 degrees respectively there. It's going a bit further over here. Still staying at 14, 13 degrees there. This rainstorm is not going anywhere, unfortunately. It may hit parts of Ireland, maybe even parts of northern England as well, and will hit southern Scotland as well. There will be some snow among the Highlands as well, in parts as well, so please be aware of that. It's going a bit further over to Wednesday evening, sitting at 7 o'clock there. So temperatures are going to drop a little bit there on April Fool's Day. With London and Manchester 13, Dublin and Cardiff 11 respectively there. It's going a bit further to the evening. There's a big drop in temperature here on the 1st of April here. So yeah, there looks like it's going to be a big drop in temperature here. So yeah, please be aware of this. So we're getting another chilly night, guys. Sorry, there's another chilly night, guys. I'm sorry. So it looks like Thursday night is going to be another chilly night. Temperature is going to be as low as 3 degrees. Let's have a quick look at some of these temperatures here. We'll start having a look in Scotland. You can see overnight on Thursday, from Wednesday night into Thursday morning here, 2 and 3 degrees. Going to be nice and cold. There is going to be some snow dropping overnight here. But yeah, you can see from these temperatures here, some even as low as 0 degrees on the 1st and 2nd of April here. Even in Northern Ireland, you can see those temperatures are going to be really dropping down. Scroll a bit further down, though, even down from southern Scotland into northern England. Those temperatures are still going to be pretty chilly in some parts there. 6, 7, 8 degrees. It's still going to be cold. But not as cold as up in Scotland. Still going to be bothersome nonetheless there at 6 and 7s. In Wales, 6, 7, 5 degrees here in some parts there. Capital Capital Cardiff, they're sitting at 8 degrees, and Swansea at 8 there overnight on that Thursday there. We have a look at the Midlands there again, 8 and 9. Okay, it's a bit warmer on the other side of England there at 9 degrees. London getting away with it at 10, but yeah, it's still going to be it will be a bit chilly, but not as much as it is in Scotland there overnight there. So please be aware of that for Thursday overnight there, just for reference there. If we scroll a bit further in, you can see those temperatures are going to drop even further overnight. But Thursday morning, this is the temperatures we're expecting Thursday morning. So please be aware of this. But it will be dry. It is going to be dry. And it'll be dry in the morning, Thursday morning there, so that's a good thing. It's just be very chilly in that morning. So please be aware of that. You may need to put on the you may need to put on the heating depending on how well you can sustain the cold, depending on where you are for that night. But Thursday morning in the afternoon, temperatures will pick back up though at 10, 11, 12 degrees here. You can see there. There is going to be some forecasts of some rain and potential snow Thursday evening here though. There we're at 7 o'clock there. There is some snow forecast in northern Scotland there, with some rain showers that looks to be coming in there. And Friday night, apparently a big chunk of white stuff going to be dropping on you of snow. Sorry guys, sorry. There as well as some rain coming down there as well. But in looking at the temperatures here, there is going to be once again a drop in temperature. Is it going to be as bad as it was that previous night? Not really. Doesn't look like it's going to be as bad as the previous night there. But there is going to be rain and snow, unfortunately, overnight there. The rest for Friday morning, there is going to be some rain in parts of Wales and parts of northern England, but mostly Scotland, and mostly Scotland's going to be suffering from the rain and the snow there. Never a nice combination. And again, if we move it a bit further over there, we can see there temperatures sitting at 11 and 12 degrees. Let's have a quick look a bit more for the end there. So yeah, there is going to be some rain and snow in forecast in the northern Scotland, but and there'll be some showers here and there around on Friday, but temperatures are still coming back up to decent numbers there. So we are going to be getting one or two cold bits over the next few days there. So unfortunately. Regan, you nearly upset have a South Wales when the blue half there. I upset Wales. How did I upset Wales? Is it because there's a did I not count all of Wales when I looked at the temperatures? They are going to experience some rain on Friday morning, I'm afraid. That's inevitable. They are going to get some cold temperatures there. Cold temperatures like the rest of us, unfortunately, there. Yeah, hopefully you get better soon, Witchygoff. I was going downhill trying to hold wet wheels to brake, and it was a bit being shot on my hands, a bit scary to smell. Oh, be careful. I hope you be careful. I hope you're all right there. 13 degrees here in Chesterfield, says Witchygoff. Yeah, I know, I made that mistake. It's Cardiff the capital, not Swansea. Yeah, I know, apologies. Yeah, that's my apologies. Yeah, Cardiff's the capital. Yeah, my apologies there. I did correct myself, did I not? I thought I corrected myself when I said it. Got another one there. We used to have snow in April. Seen it also back in the day. Slightly was driving class there as well. And good morning, David. Guys, hope you are doing well. Right, let's have a look at some of the news there. I'm pretty sure when I said it, I did correct myself that Cardiff was the capital, not Swansea. I'm pretty sure I did when I said it there. But if you didn't hear me say it, then I apologise, and I didn't mean to. It wasn't an error on my part. Right, let's have a look at the news, guys. Let's see what's going. We'll see what some of these nonsense headlines. Let's have a look at the Tory graph, the Reform graph, the Restore graph, the Bollocks graph, the graph that always wants to undermine the Green Party in some way, shape, or fashion. Let's see how they're undermining. Oh, look, here's what they're doing. Poking fun at the SNP here. They're saying the SNP is about to make Scotland's energy disaster even worse, apparently. It cannot be delivered, but John Sweeney knows promising lower bills through devolution sounds plausible, says Michael Simmons. Okay. Well, I can't. Don't worry, guys. I can't open any of the Telegraph pieces because they want money. Yeah, I know. Nearly. Yeah, I know. Correcting myself at least there. Swansea is a much nicer city, gorgeous views. Both cities are lovely. I'm not going to say one over the other. Let me put it that way. I've been to both. Good morning, person. I hope you are doing well. Ukraine doesn't want charity from the US. It wants true economic partnership. American businesses in our country will support peace by giving Washington a strong interest in protecting its investment. Ukraine. Look, Ukraine just wants to be able to survive. And it will do whatever it takes to survive, even if it means upsetting people. You know, they're fighting for their survival. It's really important to remember that there. Energy is reserved to Dave McGuinness. Yes, it is. Thank you for reminding us of that. James Fry says, the white working class strange green love affair is a warning to Farage. Strange green love. What a pathetic thing to say. There's nothing strange about the green love. It's once again an old man. Sorry, he looks like an old person. I have to be that. An old person who doesn't understand why younger voters are voting for a progressive party like the Greens. You know, you've got to understand why people vote a certain way. Tom Tuggenhat says Britain has forgotten what makes it strong. Now new tribes are taking advantage. Tribes? Didn't realise we were making tribes, but okay. Michael Deacon, the hard left are the real racists. Are you absolutely joking? Because I didn't hear you condemn the death penalty being called in Israel. Mama says I'll stop police investigation investigating online rows. Yeah, because that'll definitely make people feel safer, especially women. That'll definitely make women feel a lot safer on social media when you're stopping police investigating, you know, death threats and whatnot. That'll definitely make people feel much safer online, especially for women. Yeah, Shabina Mahmood, you're definitely a champion of the people there. Honestly. Strait Hormuz to be won by multinational coalition under White House's plans. Nope, not going to work. Iran's not going to allow that to happen. It belongs to Iran. You can't. What are you going to do? Knifeman caught hiding under loft installation. Good. I'm glad a knifeman got caught. Baganout ban disappearing messages on number 10's phones after McSweeney row. Teenage girl among those charged with murder after Lee stabbing. Grooming inquiry to expose police who ignored abuse. Starmer issues 48-hour ultimatum to striking doctors, apparently. Psychiatrist ignored terror videos on Nottingham killer phone. Palace fears BBC cuts could harm coverage of royal deaths. Are you kidding me? BBC cuts could harm coverage of royal deaths. You're concerned about how the BBC would cover the death of a royal. Honestly, like that's your main concern about the cuts for the BBC. Like you don't think they're going to do a good enough job there. Reganelite being called racist now if we don't support asylum. Being called racist now if you support asylum seekers. Apparently we don't like. Yeah, well, they're just name calling as far as I'm concerned. You know, I don't care what the people on those radical people say online really, because they're not prepared to have honest conversations about it all. Like they say they have legitimate concerns. Well, my position is that are you prepared to get out there? Are you prepared to do the work that migrants are going to do in the UK? Like, are you actually prepared to go and do it? No. Well, then who's going to do the job? Oh, someone else will do it. Well, that other person doesn't want to do it. So who's going to do the jobs that migrants aren't going to do? Oh, we'll get people off benefits to do them. Well, they're not going to be able to earn. They don't earn enough. They're not going to earn enough money off that. So what? They're going to be living at mum and dad's house for the rest of their life until their mum and dad kick the bucket while they're doing that shitty job where they're making no money. Like, yeah, the arguments they don't have solid. They don't have, right? All these people who have problems with asylum seekers, they don't have solutions to the they don't have solutions to the answers of what happens when they're gone. What happens when we don't have those people filling those vacancies, those jobs, those things that helps run our economy. They don't have the answers. All they see is get rid of asylum seekers, get rid of migrants, and our country will be better. But they can't break it down. They can't break down how it would actually make people's lives better. Like if someone talked to me and break down how it would make people's lives better, like in a long-term thing. Like I've proposed a plan. I said this with Mark from Van Man Talks a long time ago about the plan. What if Britain generally wanted to rely on British jobs for British workers? But yeah, like I said, it's a 30-50 year project if you want to do something like that, which they're not prepared to do. They don't have a solution whatsoever. They don't have a solution to the issues. They want a quick and easy solution, and they think getting rid of migrants will fix everything, and that's just not true. French says no to Mama's demands for channel migrants targets. Yeah, they don't have to listen to her at all. Please give him more time to question Derby Sussex. Paratroopers stage biggest jump in Britain in 10 years. Zach Polanski's Glastonbury style dancing is no joke. Why is this a story? Who cares if he can? Who cares? Why do you care about him having a dance? Roundabout where you can't turn left sends drivers around the bend. Yeah, I don't like. There are certain roundabouts that I've seen people go on it and they can't stand them. So yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that for sure. Any other nonsense the Telegraph wants to share with us? US drops a bunker busting bombs on Iranian ammo depot. Russia arming Iran with drones. Well, we kind of knew that already. Spain closes airspace to US involved in Iran war. Trump says, I'll obliterate Iran and walk away from the Strait of Hormuz. Chinese banned from buying flats for dead relatives' ashes, apparently. Starmer stops opposing anti-Israeli motions at the UN. Israel approves the death penalty, but only for Palestinians. It's absolutely fundamentally racist. Yeah, that story, I'm going to do a Rumble video today on that. So I'm going to record it and put it out today. This story. Yeah, it's I just call it what it is. It's fucking gross. Absolute fucking gross. Celebrating approving the death penalty for one group of people as well. It's just fucking disgusting is all I can think of. Israel denies torturing a toddler. You be a judge of that. Israel stops Carnival entering the holiest Christian site for the first time in centuries. I've heard about this story on Breaking Points. I heard about that story on Breaking Points. This was really, really insulting to Christians living in living in Israel. This was highly insulting, highly insulting. I don't know a lot about it, but yeah, it was like the first time as it says, first time in centuries that they've done this. Talk about really just dismissing Christian values there. Anti-Semitism is spreading like wildfire in Britain, says Israel. Well, maybe you guys should stop killing, Palestinians, as a suggestion. Just a suggestion. People see it every day. People see it every day. We used to have migrant workers in the fields during fruit harvesting seasons. They had caravan parks on the farms or adjacent. They knew they were only here for the season, says Jim. Yeah. The thing is, it's like, and the thing is, it's like a lot of them will say, "Oh, we can get AI to do some of these jobs." Well, AI can't do everything yet. We're not at that point yet. So have a look at the times here. Channel migrants deadlock as France rejects his UK payment by results. Raised pocket tax windfall from Iran war and fuel crisis. Grooming gains inquiry woke flinch from uncomfortable truths. Baroness Longfield has set out the terms of the national investigation, but Oldham is the only area that is confirmed to be under scrutiny. Petrol is too pricey for going to the office, says civil servants. Yeah, it's a lot of money, for right now for the petrol. If you need the petrol, get it. But if you can avoid it, avoid it. Just how popular is Keir Starmer? We looked at that yesterday. Michael Heseltine, Nigel Farage in power would be appalling. I think we can all agree with that. Starmer is to meet fuel bosses as fear grows over Iran war shortages. I think he looks at that. I think that was yesterday. I'm pretty sure that story. Inflation is falling again. Annual changes in consumer prices currently sitting at 3%. Unemployment rate 5.2% at 16 to 24-year-olds. Whilst they got here, BMA's rejection of this deal is reckless and benefits no one, announcing a 6-day strike while refusing to let members vote on the deal. Improving pay and career prospects is wrong and will only punish patients, according to the Times. Incentives are not gangs that are Simon's big problems. Gatekeeping is widely unreliable and easily subverted, while the cost to the state of most refugees is shockingly high. Hunters chased a stag for 5 hours and then shot it, claims saboteurs. Police are reviewing video taken by anti-hunt campaigners who say an animal was pursued to exhaustion across Somerset, then killed when it became trapped, according to the Times. Questions have to be asked there for sure. Cut on gas, electricity, and a drill for oil, says Bagnot. Yeah, we already talked about her yesterday. Fraudsters who breach low pay laws won government contract. Asif Hamed, who went on the run after conning children in need, reinvested himself as an entrepreneur but has links to funds that went bust, owning £6.2 million in tax. What a fucking disgusting individual. You conned children in need. My God, some people are sickening. Polanski targets unions. Yet we know about that story. Labour's house building target is completely out of reach. The government is due to build 400,000 fewer homes than it promised before the election, leading to blame games between ministers, councils and developers. What a surprise! They're rolling back on their £1.5 million pledge to build new homes, guys. They're going to fall back on it. They're not going to commit to it anymore. I hope a journalist asked the Labour government, are you still planning to hit the target of 1.5 million homes that you promised in your manifesto? Are you still planning to do that? Oh, you're not. Oh, you're not. EU offers mobility scheme break if too many young Europeans apply. Concessions over this scheme, this part of the Brexit reset talks with the UK. I'll push to get a deal before the present one expires, apparently, there. Let's have a look at the front top stories here. How the Iran war is hitting London's food supplies. The suppliers of Britain's top restaurants is already having to contend with rising supply chain costs after growing suffered in inclement weather. Chancellor summons supermarkets again for price summit. PM's fuel finder all at sea as 100 petrol stations sharp outside the UK. BMA's rejection of this deal is reckless and benefits no one. Means to be denied hospital referrals in the drive to cut a waiting list, apparently, there. Not interesting in London. SNP councillor rallies to the defence of Jordan Linden. SNP flagships £1 billion childcare boost failed to deliver, apparently, according to the Times. Bible John is a myth. Police doubted serial killer's theory, says actor. And the NHS worker who stole £60,000 from an elderly man has been jailed for 16 months. He stole £60,000 from an NHS worker, apparently. What a terrible human being. What's the matter with you people? Tomb Raiders. African victims held in Scotland are I don't know what that word says. Re-entered? I don't know what that word means. Maggie Chapman set for a Hollywood return. Nobody's interested in royals. Ministers consider scrapping Platini's NHS deal over Trump ties. Yeah, there is that talk. I don't like. I think it's all talk and bluster. I don't think this government's actually going to cut ties with Platini when they should. I don't buy it whatsoever. My son needs legal cannabis, but many others abuse the system. Ask parents about gambling like drinking and smoking, GPs urge. And the PM's given doctors 48 hours to halt the strikes or job deals. We've seen that story already there. Is gentle parenting to blame for increasing violence in primary schools? I think you can't just pin it on... I don't think you can pin it on one thing. I think there's multiple factors into that if it's true. Parents beat exam stress by hiring an £800 a day live-in tutor. £800 a day. Who's got... Like, I'm just going to jump the queue because I've got the money to do so. Well, good for you. Good for you. I'm glad your son or daughter was able to jump the queue. There's some other parents who can't do that, We talked about limiting screen time yesterday. We had a deep discussion about that yesterday. Russell Brown's rape trial delayed until October. Why? Why are we delaying his trial? He needs to be held accountable for the alleged crimes. World unites in protecting roaming animals from ultimate predator. Hunters chase stag. We saw that already. Russian flatter sheep flees a channel after UK vows to seize them. Fight to finish soldiers in the largest parachute drop for 10 years. Cardiff loses £100 million court claim over Salah death there as well. Those are some of the stories there from the Times. Let's have a look at the FT in just a moment. Rain turned buried again. Reganelite says Viper Scott. Sorry, my brain is fried. I don't know what you mean there, Viper Scott. I'm sorry. I remember helping the farmer bale the wheat, says Witchy Goff. Sarah Davis says, I hate people who take advantage of old people. I suffer with a lot of back pain, and I help an old man in his shopping from his trolley. Wanted to check out, my back was in half, but I still helped. Yeah, when I used to work in retail, I would always help people out. Like, you know, like, but I didn't do it because it was my job. I did it because it was the right thing to do, you know. Like, I remember, I haven't done it for a while, but I did help once an elderly person cross the road when they were very fragile. And they were very nervous. I remember just taking the lady's hand and I say, oh, I'll help you. I'm going to cross anyway. Let me help you. I've even helped, you know, there's those, just doing those casual things, you know, like giving up your seat for somebody who's pregnant or an elderly person. I've helped, you know, helped a mum with their pram off the bus, you know, just doing simple things like that. You know, just, you know, it's just common courtesy. It's just a good thing, you know, it's just being a good person, that kind of stuff, you know. And it, you know, people who take advantage of old people, it reminds me of a terrible story of, what happened to my nan one time. It was a long time ago, but it was one time she was in a charity shop with her two daughters, and she, I can't remember why, but she had a lot of cash in her purse, and basically these two guys basically took the cash out of her purse or whatever, and basically ran. They took it from her inside a charity shop. And it was very sad story to hear, because it just upset everyone. When everyone in the family heard about it, they just absolutely lost their mind. I think they were from East. I don't know where they're from, but they're definitely from Eastern Europe. I think they were like Romanian or Poland or something. But that's not. But regardless of where they're from, it just made me sick to my stomach that people would steal that money from my nan, despite the fact that not only is she carrying all that money, but she was also inside a charity shop when they did it as well. You know, she's not here now. She's no longer here now. But you know, at the time, many years ago, like, it was very disheartening. It was a very disheartening story. And they put the bodies back in the grave after they were removed from their original grave, says Viper Scott. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Viper Scott. I don't know enough about it, so I'll leave it at that. Thank you for sharing that. The Cardiff headline is wrong. Cardiff didn't lose. It was the chairman who has been chasing getting his money back instead of letting Salah rest in peace. I'm a Cardiff fan, so Sarah Davis. Yeah, thank you for clarifying, Sarah, because yeah, the Telegraph and the Times are not always very clear with their headlines, for sure. I opened the door for a woman and got abused, says David King. Like, it's, yeah. I now don't. Yeah, some people don't want any common courtesy. There are some people who just don't want any common courtesy at all. Like, I have seen those situations where you try to be nice and people are like, stay away from me, don't touch me, or anything like that. There are those people out there, unfortunately. So it's sad, but there are those people out there who just don't want it, I'm afraid. So have a look at the Financial Times. It says UK growers warn of cucumber and tomato shortages as gas prices surge. Producers warn of empty shelves if supermarkets do not raise prices to help offset the costs linked to the Iran war. What else they got here? BlackRock is to boost investment in NHS property. Yeah, guys, because BlackRock are definitely going to be BlackRock will definitely take care of our NHS. Yeah, BlackRock. Yeah, because they definitely care about our well-being, don't they, guys? Yeah. Asset manager teams up with Greater Manchester Pension Fund for £1 billion joint venture as the government seeks more private finance. NHS property. Oh, God. Cracks appear in the UK-US security cooperation after Trump-Starmer tensions. Differences in the war in Iran are hitting working relationship between diplomats, officials, and military personnel. I'm just gonna say this. This might sound a bit weird, but I'm saying good. I'm gonna say good. I'm glad that there's cracks appearing. I'm glad that it's making it uncomfortable. Because the Trump administration are a bunch of Looney Tunes, and although we have our differences about this Labour government, they're not a bunch of Looney Tunes. This Labour government, they're actually some of them do have a bit of common sense, and they're not like Looney Tunes like Donald Trump is. So I'm glad that there's tension there, and I'm glad they're kind of saying like we're not sharing certain information, we're not doing certain things, but we're still allowing them to use our bases to bomb Iran, which is still a problem. Originally, I didn't have a problem with it, but the more time's gone on, it's like, yeah, we really shouldn't be doing it, guys. The Reform Russia Youth Wing driving the party's reach on campus. I might do a story on that. To gain momentum, young supporters are trying to appeal to students from the right. Yeah, apparently it's a young group of Reform voters. I wonder how many women are in that youth group, guys. What do you think? And that's not me being sexist. That's just the demographic. The vast majority of Reform supporters are male rather than female. That's just the demographic. The UK has received last tanker of jet fuel from the Middle East this week. The industry warning of disruptions contrasts with the government's call for calm. Oh dear. So the last tanker is arriving this week, and then what? Then what happens? Then what happens, guys? All hail the DPR, all hail crackers, all hail, 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 says Viper Scott with the £2 super chat. Thank you so much. Viper Scott there. All hail indeed to our brave ducks, our badgers and quackers. Indeed. All hail to the animals. All hail to the animals. Thank you so much for the £2 super chat, my friend. Really, very, very, very kind of you. Appreciate it. There. Knuckle draggers, Reganelite, says Jim. Knuckle draggers. Yeah, I don't use that word myself. Starmer strikes upbeat note. Admit dismissal polling ahead of May 2nd local elections. Yes, they are just polls at the end of the day, guys. They are just polls at the end of the day. The Labour Party is set for thumping losses in contest for the Scottish Parliament, the Welsh Seed and English councils. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hammering Farage-Trump links could suppress Reform poll lead. Labour and the Lib Dems could leverage US President's unpopularity to hurt momentum behind the Populist Party. Yep, that's reminding people that Farage is a Trump stooge. Definitely will hurt supporters for them. That's for sure. How MI5 got into the minds of young terrorists. Behavioural science seen an increased caseload of children at risk of being radicalised online. The UK regulator cuts £2 billion from car finance redress costs for banks. The Financial Conduct Authority lowers the estimates for loans eligible for compensation scheme there. And we saw that, and we covered that story yesterday about the UK government on the verge of full nationalisation of British Steel. We saw that story yesterday on the Viewpoint there. Let's have a look at the front page of the Financial Times here. Pete Hegseth brokered looked to buy defence fund before the Iran attack. Oh, really? Morgan Stanley's wealth manager approached BlackRock about a multi-billion-dollar investment for US Defense Secretary. An exclusive from them there. US petrol prices hit $4 a gallon for the first time since 2022. Pump anxiety from soaring fuel prices prompts a surge in EV interest. Iran hackers go to war. It's quite a powerful image there, for sure. Why do politicians want AI to go faster? Because they can't be bothered to do the jobs on their own. BlackRock looks at HSBC Canary Wharf Tower for a new London HQ. What? Why do they need a new HQ? Eurozone inflation jumps to 2.5% in March. That's just an hour ago there. Unveiling needs a deal to merge food unit with McCormack to create $60 billion group, apparently. Who is Peter Magyar? Orbán's nemesis. Yeah, Peter, the fate of Hungary of the... I know you can't see it from here, guys, but Peter Magyar, it's on the far right of the screen there. Peter, the fate of Hungary rests in your hands when it comes to the election. Hungary, any kind of left of democracy and freedom of speech will be gone forever if he loses that election. Foreign central banks sell US treasuries in the wake of Iran war. Ooh, that's not good for America. UK's £16 billion housing bank aims to protect developers from the Iran shock. UK growers warn of cucumber and tomato shortages. We saw that already. Whoop hits 10 billion valuation as health tracking takes off. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's great to see so many people taking up fitness stuff there. It's good. Technology, yeah, technology is being really technology is really helping in terms of fitness for people. US presses UK and allies to secure quantum computing supply chains. Japan deploys first long-range missile as it steps up deterrence there. Swiss lawmakers signal compromise on a $22 billion UBS capital plan. And the evil government of Israel approves the death penalty targeting innocent Palestinians. Which I said, well, we'll cover in another story. I will cover on Rumble at some point today. For sure. Let's have a look at the iPaper here. Well, we've got 15 minutes left, guys. Got 2 more super chats to get to today's super chat goal. If we can help get over that line, be greatly appreciated. Just a reminder, guys, to please check if you're subscribed to the channel, because some people have lost who already subscribed but may have unsubscribed by error my YouTube. So if you are watching, please check if you're subscribed and consider subscribing to the channel. Help me get back over 2,600 subscribers if you can, please. There's some people here who are watching who are subscribers, but they're not actually subscribed. It sometimes click off. So if you are watching this, just double check that you are, please. It'd be greatly appreciated. Here from the iPaper, the Home Office plans to make it harder for migrants to settle in the UK, and it's backed by voters. So the Home Secretary plans to extend the default period for qualifying for indefinite leave to remain at the UK from 5 to 10 years. Because yep, that'll definitely fix all our problems, guys. Definitely will. That's an exclusive from the iPaper. Also says what Angela Rayner is really up to as she plots cabinet return. Yeah, I do think she's plotting a cabinet return. Half of voters cutting back on energy and eating out as panic buying fuels. Yep, people are definitely doing that. People are no doubt doing that. Utterly horrific inside cabinet tensions over tax cuts as economy spirals. I won't let the internet raise my children or yours. That's an opinion piece there. UK facing triple shock of inflation, weak growth and energy crunch. Scrambles, warships face fast leaves Defence Secretary facing backlash. Yeah, what did you do? What did you do, Defence Secretary, with all that money you got? What did you do with all that money? Where's it all gone, guys? Answers on a postcard, breeze. Britain's obsession with America is embarrassing. I agree. I agree. Hegseth's fragile masculinity has doomed the US. Pete Hegseth doesn't have any masculinity. He just pretends he does. Trump looks emotionally broken and dignified Starmer is responsible. What? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Plansky is the threat to Labour, not Farage. That's an old one there. Let's have a look at the front of the iPaper here. Hi, Elevate. Good morning to you. Hope you are doing well there. Have a spliff, Mel. Calm the grey matter. Yeah, right. I'll go find the local gangsters, Mel. Don't worry. Just take a deep breath, Mel. That's the best thing I do. Viper Scott says, all SNP bad in the mainstream media must mean an election is on the way. I wonder what SNP bad will be in PMQs tomorrow. Bingo card at the ready. Unfortunately, Viper Scott, there's no PMQs tomorrow. There's no PMQs planned for tomorrow. Last I checked. Unless they've changed it. Because the Parliament's in recess. So there's no PMQs, I'm afraid, tomorrow. I'm afraid to disappoint you there. The signs, Trump is readying 50,000 US troops to confront Iran. Here's how they could be used. I was expecting ground invasion. I was actually expecting the ground invasion to happen over the weekend, but it didn't. I guess they weren't ready. So probably waiting for the end of this week and then they're going to do it. I filmed this airstrike in Dubai, then I had to flee fearing arrest. Well, that's because, you know, you're in another country and you have to follow their rules and laws. If they say do not film in Dubai, do not film a conflict in Dubai, that means don't do it. It's their country, it's their laws. You have to follow their laws whether you like it or not. anyone who kicks off a fuss about, you know, being arrested for filming in these Gulf states, that's your Gulf states, right? That's your own fault for not following their rules. It really is. Like, I don't sympathise with you. Trump plans for a moon base won't distract from his military failures. Maybe there'll be a moon base before I kick the bucket, guys. Maybe there will be a moon base. I hope there's a moon base in the next 20, 30 years before I kick the bucket. Let's hope so, guys. Let's hope so. Petrol for ambulances and the new speed limits the UK's fuel shortage plan. The EU is to force UK to pay up access cheaper electricity under Brexit reset. Race to stop Iran rebuilding weapon stockpiles. UK on a clean course with the EU over Brexit visas for under 30s. The wild west of medical cannabis prescriptions. Britons are turning to drug dealers and private clinics to obtain cannabis for medical reasons due to NHS restrictions, which have left patients a string of stronger and possible dangerous form of drugs. And right here, is another example of why the Green Party's policies when it comes to legalising drugs is not a joke, and is a very serious one indeed. And once again, the government are turning a blind eye on this here. Yeah, guys, I want my moon base. I want my moon base before I kick the bucket. I said to my family, I said when I'm younger, I said there better be a moon base before I kick the bucket. I don't know whether or not we'll land on Mars by the time if I live long enough for us to land on Mars. But we should have had a moon base ages ago, guys. But instead, we decided to just have fights, have wars amongst another instead. Apparently, that was more important than building a moon base, you know. One of the most evil people to set foot on the planet there on the left-hand side. A little-known base is ready to defend the UK from Iranian missiles. The new UK migration problem no one's talking about. Trump's messy ground operations will be destroyed or break the camel's backs. Trump's popularity is sinking. Iran has him cornered. One thing Iran is very good at doing, they've been pumping out lots of everyday AI videos of Trump crying and moaning about this Iran war. It's very, very good videos. They've always pumping out bad videos, embarrassing videos of Trump. And it's making him look bad. Some parents are forced to pay £750 a week for Easter childcare. Some parents face limited options, a much higher price of Easter holiday. Clubs forcing some to take unpaid leave and give up food. I'm a teacher at a top school, telling around 7 pupils it's not our fault. The top 500 secondary school takes in around half as many disadvantaged children with SEND as the average competitiveness research shows. Damn. Turning away SEND children, that's bad. That's bad indeed. Moonbase, so we can ruin another planet. There's nothing on there to ruin. There's no resources there. There's no resources on the moon. Plus, if they damage the moon, they damage the Earth as well. Like, the consequences will be severe if they try to baby drill on the moon. There's no profit in them drilling on the moon. UK universities pay to support Chinese propaganda. We saw that story before. The 36 areas in the UK facing water shortages by 2035 mapped. Parts of Lincolnshire, London and Surrey face worse supply problems, and experts over climate change, population growth and poor infrastructure there. The Cornish beach swimming in sewage even on the driest days. Labour doesn't care about protecting the countryside, voters are saying. I think some of these stories are quite old, if I'm actually honest. I'm pretty sure we've seen some of them before. Brutal cartels are scaling up the drone threat, and the US is struggling to fight back. The cutting-edge robots that hunt some of Iran's most notorious weapons. The signs that you're officially old. Yep, I've seen that story. Yeah, I don't want to be reminded, thank you, if I can be helped. You get 15 grams through for leaf of 16 bucks prescriptions. I can get 14 grams for 50. Legalize it, tax it, take the crooks out of the equation. Deficit gone in the first week, says Jim. Thank you for sharing that. Interesting. Science fiction, says Billy Kershaw. Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational moon base. That's no moon. It's a space station. The iPaper here. We've got about 6 minutes left, guys. Just again, a reminder, just check that you're subscribed to the channel as well. And if we can get over the super chat goal, that would be greatly appreciated if possible as well. If anyone can help there as well, be greatly appreciated. Britain faced one of the largest shocks from energy crisis, warning the IMF. Oh, great. That's just lovely. Keir Starmer promises to fight social media firms over addictive content. Okay. Let's hope you're actually serious about that. I really mean that sincerely. Starmer giving residents doctors 48 hours to call off strikes. Reeves is oblivious to the cost of living crisis. Blasts Kemi back or not. To a certain extent, I agree with Kemi there, and I don't like agreeing with Kemi. UK aid cuts are betrayal to women and girls in sub-Saharan Africa. That's 100% a fact. That's 100% true. We're abandoning people, left, right, and centre on the cuts of foreign aid. A youth-led push for change threatens Orbán's 16-year rule in Hungary's election. How is this under UK politics? I don't know. 2 weeks before the pivotal elections, Hungary voters are rallying behind Peter Magyar's Tisza party and posing the strongest challenge to Prime Minister Viktor Orbán in years. Polls are on his side, but how much? But whether or not actually it turns into results, I don't know. Because right now there's a lot of propaganda, and the likes of Russia, lots of political parties, lots of foreign interference for sure. I've got a feeling that Viktor Orbán is going to retain. I really hope he doesn't, but I feel like they're going to rig it against. I feel like they're going to rig it against Peter there. Delivery driver forced at gunpoint to take object to police station. Blow for Starmer as judge rules Chagossians can live on disputed land. Judge Jane Garza, the Justice for the British Union Territory Court, has ruled that Chagossians have a right of appellation on the islands. Keir Starmer's to hand over the Chagos Island deal Majoris has been dealt with another major blow after a court ruling gave islanders expelled in the 1960s the right to live there. The landmark ruling is a full blow to believe the Prime Minister's efforts to resolve future Chagos Islands, which houses a crucial US air base, has undone almost 6 decades of previous legal judgments on the island. Deal was already in trouble because of opposition from Donald Trump after the judgment by Justice James says for the British Indian Ocean Territory could finish off the deal altogether. The case was brought after 4 Chagossians occupying one of the islands earlier this year in a bid to reclaim their homes, and the BIOT governor attempted to have them removed. One of them, Louis Mezes-Madeleine, who said he was elected First Minister of the Chagossian government in exile last December, told the courts, "We are Chagossians. We have long waited for a return. We've had permits to visit, but no one answered us, so we come here to prove that we would like to return." In his judgment, Justice Lewis overturned the 2004 law for the islands brought in by Tony Blair's government to prevent a return to the islands by Chagossians. He's also reversed previous rulings by the Lords in the original removal of the 1960s and 1970s. He concluded that the government's previous case that there could not be returned to the islands on national security or defensive grounds no longer applies because the proposed deal with the Majoris means that the government now accepts the islands can be populated. Yes, I'm fully on board with what the government have said here. He also stated that the cost to UK taxpayers of Majoris deals, which estimates to be £51 billion higher than any other previous estimate, means that the argument that it's too costly to enable Chagossians to return has also been invalidated. Justice Lewis has drawn on the UK's United Nations obligations to conclude that the islanders have a right to abdol on their homelands, which makes it almost impossible to give the islands to Majoris. The government has already lodged appeal against the judgment, which had been granted and will be heard by the BIOT Court of Appeal. The original decision to negotiate a deal with the Majoris came from a ruling by the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, which was not binding on the UK but stated that the island belonged to them. However, the ruling was based on Majoris being the former colonial administration centre for the islands. Other part of the British Empire had been administered from Majoris gaining independence because they were populated. Lawyer says once a population is established on the islands, it changes their entire legal status and means that they should be looked at as their own entity. The return to the islands came in an expedition funded by Reform's biggest donor, and led by 20 MPs, what affected Adam Holloway. In his ruling, Justice Lewis appeared to be critical of Nigel Farage and others from Reform, specifically saying that they do not have a right to go to the islands. Mr Farage had joined the 4 Chagossians last month. In response to the court's ruling, Mr. Mandarin said, today's justice has finally begun to catch up with history. For generations we have lived in exile. We've lost this denial for most basic right. This judgment restores not just a legal principle, but our dignity as people. We have returned peacefully to our homeland. We ask only to live, to remember, and to belong. Today, the law has recognised what we have always known, that our connections to these islands cannot be erased. Judgment shows justice works when people are given a chance to be heard. The decision to forcibly remove British subjects from the British lands for the Crown to take away the right to Abdul should never have been allowed. Today, we can start to right that wrong. This is a historic victory. The government, its entire approach to Chagos built over the past 20 years has been fundamentally called into question. Yeah. This is the right decision by the courts, by the British courts. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like that deal's going to go up in smokes from the looks of it. From the looks of it here, guys, it's going to go up in smokes. UK's called for booming influencer industry to be effectively recognised. Yep. The non-crime hate incidents to no longer be recorded by police. That's really bad. Awful April looms with families and council tax and water bill hikes. Yep, bills going up next month. Looking forward to that, everyone. Jow, good to see you there in the chat. And One Angry Pagan, good to see you both. Hope you are doing well. We're just wrapping up in a minute. Surgeon who thought he was going to die in lift sues for £200,000. King George urged to meet Epstein victims during a US visit. So he's asked. He wants to meet the victims of the Epstein. That's good of the king. That's actually very good of the king. That's actually very good of the king. I say brave as well because obviously he's connected because of Andrew Wimbetter. Andrew there. That's definitely going to be an uncomfortable conversation for sure for the king. But I'm glad he's actually doing that, if I'm honest, guys. I'm very glad. Right, guys. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of the show. We didn't get to today's Super Chat goal, unfortunately. But thank you to everyone who did give Super Chats. Greatly appreciated. But tomorrow starts a new month. So thank you to everyone who has supported in any way, shape or form. Just want to remind you guys of a couple of things. If you can, please check that you're subscribed as well. Like I said, that some people numbers have not been on there, so please just make sure you do that for me on your way out. If you can, please consider checking out Rumble and Patreon. I'll be putting up content on those platforms later on today. They are a bit late, but there will be content coming out on those platforms, which will be free to watch as well. Also a reminder, I'll be back live tomorrow at 11 a.m. for another Good Morning show. There will be no Prime Minister's questions tomorrow as there is no PMQs at the moment. However, we got two great live streams, not just a Good Morning show, but we'll also have Reganelite's watch along tomorrow night on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. So thank you guys all for coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. Greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you guys are doing. But before you go, if you can, please hit that like button. Share this across social media. Subscribe, like I said, if you haven't already. Check out the Discord community. That is as well free to check out. Make sure you check out some of our other fabulous YouTubers who have been here in the chat as well, such as Jow, Witchy Goth, the two Davies who are here, One Angry Pagan as well, if you can check them out. Links for all their YouTube channels are in the description. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.